everybody, welcome back to Level Up Loading Fight Feelings Face Facts with yours truly, Shay. Thank you to everyone who has been keeping up with my sitting up in my room series. I've been getting great feedback. I have had a lot of people reaching out to me, so we are going to be getting some more people on that series. I'm so excited for that because the young ladies, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Sierra, Cordria, and Danielle for being brave enough to just come and speak up and speak out, and being one of the first few people to actually grace my podcast with their amazing stories, their energy, and just taking time out of their busy schedules to be a part of my purpose. So I'm very thankful to you guys, and I look forward to more conversations with not only you but other women as well. I've also had people, after seeing some of the things, I've had a couple men, actually a few men, reach out to me who are interested in sharing their stories as well. So yeah, we're gonna let this thing evolve, you know. Obviously, I'm a woman, so I have a heart for all things that are pertaining to them, but I also, of course, love my brothers as well. So if there is a safe space needed for them to be able to share their story, or even just their elevation journey, then if I have the ability to give them that, then hey, I will absolutely be honored to do so. So that is just a little quick side note, but I wanted to pop in real quick. This is something that I have been kind of just digesting in this process of elevation and getting closer to God and being bold and learning how to speak up about my beliefs and not just going with the flow, or just, you know, we all have this kind of, I'm not gonna say we all, but a lot of us have this kind of idea or this thought process of to each his own, or it's like, well, let grown people be grown people, and I absolutely think that that's what we should do. Free will is definitely something that God has given us, and who am I to take that away? But just because it's, and grown people should do what they want to do, just because it's free will doesn't mean that you can't speak up about something that you're passionate about. And for myself personally, I am just finding so much joy and fire for God that it is nice to be able to be bold about it. And yes, also knowing that everyone is not going to agree, we all are not going to have the same paths, and being okay with that. Now, with that being said, I was really kind of thinking about marriage. So I was thinking about marriage, and I was thinking about me, and I was thinking about, okay, hold on. Do I look, is everything okay? I don't know, I look weird on camera. Anyway, I was thinking about marriage, and I was just kind of thinking, like, I'm 35, I'm not married. Like, that's not uncommon, but it's, you know, it's like somewhere in between common and not common, somewhere in that middle ground, because, you know, some people get married fairly early, and then others, you know, later on in life, like later.
Okay.
So I'm at this midway point. I'm at this almost midlife type of situation, middle-aged woman almost. And I was just thinking about, you know, marriage, and in my discovery and just really having the introspection and having a moment with God, and just, you know, getting in my book and just really thinking about how he's transformed me so much within the last 3 years particularly, but like severely in the last year. It's 3 years because I moved here 3 years ago, and that's when it all started. I kind of did a little bit of regression and backsliding in that sense, but I still was being transformed. Every piece of that was a part of, you know, my lessons for this new path that I'm on. And it's just very humbling for me. I had to really, really listen. And I feel like God was telling me, like, you couldn't be married back then, because I wouldn't have been able to transform you into who I'm trying to get you to be, who you were called to be, what your actual purpose is in this life. You could not have been that and honored your husband. Whoever your husband would have been in that time, who was attracted to that version of you, whoever your husband would have been absolutely against these changes. He would have absolutely been against your growth, about how close you are to me, about how much you value my opinion over all, and I think about that. If I were to have even been married, or even, not take the marriage part out of it, even if I were to have been in a very serious relationship and this person met me in a state of, partying and alcoholism and fornication, and not too much now, y'all. I ain't saying I was out here wilding, but it still was a part of the story.
What do you mean by that?
If that person had met me and I was doing that, and they were also a part of that world, obviously, because they most of the time attracts like, then for me to abruptly have a radical encounter with God and be hurled into transformation and redefining who I am as a woman, could you imagine how that poor man would have felt? Could you imagine having a woman who went from, you're a worldly man in the world, you listen to worldly music, you intake worldly things, you are all about sexual perversion, you are all about, just being human and being,
basically just being a slave to your flesh.
This little gnat. Being human and being a part of the world, unfortunately, we have temptations and vices and things that we have. And so imagine you decide to link up with this woman. You decide to link up with this woman, and she's with what you're with. You're attracted to her, and it's easy and it's peaceful because you guys have like-mindedness. So yeah, you wake up and you want to think about where we're going to be eating and where we're going to be drinking for the day. And so she sits with you, she chills with you, she gets, intoxicated, and not just a casual drink, but gets intoxicated with you. She goes out partying with you. When you get home from that party, she may or may not be willing to, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it like that, but she may be willing to participate in some sexual activity with you. That is your cup of tea. That is what you signed up for. That is what you want. So if I were to have had a man before I was transformed, I would not be who I am today. I would not be as close to God as I am. I wouldn't. And that is absolutely unacceptable. I mean, of course, God knows what he's doing, and I know that, but it's just like thinking about it like that, like, wow, you're right. Because imagine you used to coming in from work, your drink is ready. We're finna watch something that's probably full of all type of craziness on the TV. Chill, watch that for a little bit. Go lay around like we're shacking, like we're husband and wife, but we're not, playing this role. That's what you're used to. You're okay with that. That's comfortable for you. That's peaceful for you. That's your definition of calm, easy, and then I just switch and say, well, actually, no, I won't be sitting and drinking with you all day. And no, I won't be dipping and doing it, in the words of Wendy Williams. I won't be spreading it wide and dipping it low or whatever. Imagine that. So What would make you stay? What would make you stay? So it makes perfect sense, guys, that I am not married. And I'm actually thrilled that I'm not married yet, because I want the man who God has for me. First of all, he has to already be, I'm not going to be giving y'all no cheat sheets.
I know that's right.
But I'm just saying, I want the man that's for me to already be so into God that he literally has to hear from God to even notice me. God has been hiding me. I promise you, he has been hiding me. And I thought that it was not punishment. When I was a lot more worldly, I thought that it was, a bad thing. Like, oh, am I invisible? Like, why everybody just running from me? God has been hiding me from turmoil, from stress, from heartbreak, from sin, from degradation, degrading myself, my body, for these temporary fixes and these temporary feelings. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for that. So when I do prepare myself and get where I need to be as a woman of God, as a woman, period, the man who sees me is going to see who I actually am, and I'm actually going to be who I'm supposed to be already. Like, not saying that I won't evolve, not saying that I won't change. That is inevitable. We all evolve, we all change, we all grow. We're all going to, do something different. But I won't be making any abrupt changes. Like, it won't be me being crazy or religious. This person is going to meet me and know, hey, Shay loves God. Hey, Shay is going to be in her Bible. Shay is going to listen to music that is uplifting, inspiring, not that's going to cause her to draw near to sin and worldliness and anger and lust. Shay is going to watch TV shows and things that are going to be not so perverse and, just downright ratchet. Like, they're going to know who they're getting, and they can make that decision once the time comes, when God gives them the perfect timing and lets them know and reveals to them that I am actually who he designed for him. He'll already know. It won't have to be no crazy change. Now, I'm going to change. I'm a woman. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn more. So as I learn, I'm going to, of course, evolve with that wisdom. But it won't be my core being. So I'm so excited because I feel like he is doing a new thing. He's preparing me. But ultimately, marriage is a bonus. Right now, I am in the best time of my life because I'm single. I don't have any obligations. All that I have right now, no distractions, is to focus on God. That is actually such a blessing. I think people don't really give it the respect that it deserves. That single season is the best time to get your relationship actually where it needs to be, so that when those tough times do come when you get married, when those tough times come when you're in a relationship and you're going towards marriage, you can go see your daddy.
Oh, I would do that anyway. I would do that anyway because that's how I am.
And you have that relationship and that strong, firm foundation, and you're not just relying on friends and family members and their projecting and their bitterness and their well wishes and their well intentions, but just sometimes just not the right thing for you. I have gotten to a point where I don't even really ask for advice. I take it to God. And even if I do, test the spirit. But just because it could be somebody you love severely, I could talk to my mama and ask my mama for advice. And if God has not confirmed it for me, that don't mean nothing. Sorry, mama, I love you. I'm just saying, like, you have to test the spirit. Everything is not for you. There are factors that make people think the way they think and how they feel the way they feel. You need God's guidance. So the man who God blesses with me and in turn blesses me with, I know he will know what he's getting. And I will also know that he will be led by God, because he's going to have to be the one to tell him to look up. Look up. She's right there. And of course, God will confirm it for me as well. I don't know, y'all. I'm just excited. But right now, I'm just enjoying this single season. No distractions. Nothing but me and God and my purpose. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Such a blessing. But anyway, guys, I'm out. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And I hope that you guys found something useful in this episode. I will talk to you on the next one. Bye.